So if you clicked on this video, then you are hoping to learn more about the different types of therapy that are out there and the different types of settings in which therapy can be provided. Hi, I'm Melissa. Welcome back to my channel, Mental Health with Melissa. Before we get started, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content like this, as I post videos every single Sunday and Wednesday. Liking and subscribing to my videos really helps me get information out there to our community about mental health, and also information out there to those that are interested in mental health and behavioral health professions. So if you clicked on this video, then you are hoping to learn more about the different types of therapy that are out there and the different types of settings in which therapy can be provided. So let's get right into it. So the first type of therapy that I want to talk about is individual therapy. We all kind of already know about individual therapy, especially in light of this pandemic. I think that there's been a lot more marketing put out there to people on social media or even in our workplaces about how this is a very challenging time for us, and you can actually reach out to a therapist and they can provide mental health related therapy through virtual means or through telehealth. And so usually what we see in individual therapy is, as you would imagine, just two people involved, one being the therapist and the other person being the client. In individual therapy, you can really get into a lot of processing regarding your past, how you're currently doing, and examining feelings that come up for you, or traumas from the past that have come up for you. And individual therapy is really good for somebody that may have a hard time opening up in a group setting, or for somebody that really has things that they want to work on within themselves and to fix their relationships that they have with people, coming from a point of view where relationships are being impacted because of their own concerns that they may have. So some examples of this may be if you're having a lot of anxiety or depressive symptoms, and some of this may be related to experiences that you had, and you don't feel comfortable about going into detail about these things in front of other people. So starting off and getting your feet wet with one therapist in individual counseling is a good option. The next type of therapy that you may have heard of is couples counseling. Now, couples counseling, just like it sounds, is a type of therapy that is facilitated by a couples counselor with a couple, and the couple can either be married or just in a relationship, or maybe even broken up or divorced, trying to work on things. In some cases, co-parenting couples therapy, where you may not even be a couple and you just really want to be on the same page to make things work for your children. And so things of that nature. Usually in couples therapy, you go to really work on communication because that affects the way, obviously, that your relationship is with one another. And so the therapist's role really in couples counseling is to kind of be that facilitator there, not to tell you to break up or if you should stay together, but really be there kind of as a mediator in a sense. I try not to use the word mediator, but more of like a facilitator, as you would see like maybe in a support group, except it's between the two of the couple. So again, you would want to go there if you want to work on your relationship and you want to improve your communication skills. Now, I think that there's a common misconception with couples counseling, because people think that if you go to couples counseling, then you're marriage is over, or you don't know how to have a successful relationship. And that couldn't be further from the truth. I mean, you can see people on all ends of the spectrum get couples counseling, whether it be yes, needing to really work on things because there's so much conflict, to things are going great but they really want to see how they can even more successful communication with one another by bringing in a therapist to kind of make sure that each person is being heard in the relationship. So moving on to the next type of therapy, which is family therapy. So just as it sounds, family therapy consists of a family unit. Now, this may be the same and different from a couple's type of counseling, in that the term family is very subjective. For some, a family may be a couple, and so that may be family counseling. But in other circumstances, a family may be the immediate family. So, the mom, the dad, the children, or in some cases and in some cultures, the extended family. So the grandfather, the grandmother, mom, dad, the child. So it really depends. But basically, in family therapy, there is the family. Whoever is included in that family unit is up to the family itself. That's not for the therapist to say. And the therapist obviously is involved. So usually in family therapy, people go to family therapy to really get some help in becoming more of a cohesive unit. A lot of times in families, we see challenges in communication, a lot of conflict, whether that be related to past traumas, intergenerational trauma, issues at home, issues with roles in the family. And so really with family therapy, you go and each family member is able to speak their piece. And again, the therapist is able to help facilitate that, so each family member can be heard despite the role. So lastly is group therapy. So group therapy, or as you may know it as support group, is a type of therapy where individuals may come from different backgrounds but with one shared or common type of experience. The examples that come to mind right away for me are a support group for grief and loss, or a meeting such as a relapse prevention or a 12-step type of support group. In these types of groups, you come again with your own personal experience with that shared common phenomenon, but everybody has that shared common phenomenon. And so in that support group, you go and share your experiences, and you hear experiences from other fellow group members. And the role of the therapist in the support group is more of, again, that facilitator role. So that therapist is really going to be the person that kind of makes sure that group rules are being adhered to in terms of people not interrupting each other, making sure that people are staying on topic, that multiple people aren't talking at once. Because as you can imagine, when a big group of people that don't necessarily know each other that well come together, a lot can happen. And so we really want to make sure that we're able to bring that support group together and people can speak freely in a respectful manner and everybody can feel heard. Professionally, I actually facilitate support groups, and I really enjoy it because I really am able to be a facilitator in helping others come together and find a common ground with shared experiences, especially in light of what we have going on right now in our pandemic. Feelings of isolation and loneliness have come up. So support groups are really important to maintain that connection, and they can happen virtually as well, so that people can still maintain their social distancing. So I'm interested to hear what types of therapy you have been involved in, whether you're the client or the therapist. I'd love to hear more about that. Therapy is such a special process. You actually can be any of those types of therapy that I mentioned simultaneously. So if you're getting individual therapy for a past trauma, you can still be going to a support group at the same time for grief counseling if you lost a loved one, and at the same time be going to a couples therapist to work on your marriage. The opportunities with therapy are really endless, and that's why I think it's so important to talk about the different types that are available out there and when it may be appropriate for you to inquire further about the different ones that we talked about today. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please, again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button for more content. If you have any video recommendations or had any questions on anything, I'd be more than happy to film a video regarding those questions and inquiries. So just leave them in the comments below. Until next time, managing mental health matters.